to deal with your question, I was born in Kerala, not exactly here, about 200 kilometers away from here, in a small village, a beautiful village again. And I didn't have much of my time in that village. I was going from place to place because my father was a freedom fighter. As a result, he was not always at home. So as kids, we were going to different places for education, places where my mother felt that we are safe. So she was sending us to places for education. So sometime I traveled to a place 50 kilometers away, sometime I traveled 100 kilometers away for schooling, even before I came to this place for my dancing and music education. I was born and brought up in a Hindu family, and while there are problems related to how Hindu religion is practiced today, I strongly believe there are lessons one can draw, good lessons that one can draw and take inspiration from those stories related to Hindu mythology, whether it is Mahabharata or Ramayana. I think looking back, those stories were very, very important to let me know what is dharma and what is adharma, what is good and what is bad. So even as a child, one could understand killing is bad, or cheating is bad, or helping others is good, and being kind to others is good, etc. So those were very, very interesting part of life. We also had a lot of fun because brothers and sisters all were together, and so we had a lot of learning and fun and whatnot. And that was the time when I finally decided to move out of Kerala and went all the way to Maharashtra in the ashram of Mahatma Gandhi, where he stayed for many years and directed the country in the large struggle against colonization. I had an opportunity to stay there for 3 years and do my agriculture engineering course. The idea was to get back to the village and serve the farmers and poor people by providing services for developing agriculture, because that was a time when India was also facing food shortage, and we thought that would be the right way to help our country, people of our country, etc. But even before I concluded my training in Wardha, I had this invitation to go and join a mobile exhibition train, because that was 1969 when the entire nation was celebrating Mahatma Gandhi's 100th year. So natural that one is tend to take this challenge. One would like to join this train and go around the country and speak to people about why Mahatma Gandhi is important, why it is time for us to rethink about Mahatma Gandhi and rework his philosophy in solving the problem of the country. And the idea was also to have young people explaining things to young people, so they will take it much more seriously than old people telling them what is Mahatma Gandhi and why Mahatma Gandhi, etc. But the real challenge was when young people started questioning, it's all great that you speak about Mahatma Gandhi and non-violence. Have you ever tried non-violence in your life? And you had no answer. Basically, you knew that it's a good theory, but the children or students were not interested, young people were not interested to know what is good theory. They were interested to challenge you and say, look, have you practiced non-violence? And every day this question, have you practiced this, have you practiced that, and why are you making a speech in front of us if you haven't practiced it? And that is where one understood big speeches have no meaning unless you have some practice, some practical touch into it. Then I was looking for an opportunity. At the end of the train journey, 1 year, we thought, now this is time to practice non-violence, practice Gandhi. And a great challenge was thrown to us, one of our friends, that was to go to the Chambal Valley, where you have hundreds and thousands of dreaded dacoits. Dacoits are Robin Hoods, not real bad guys, but then they kill, they kidnap, they create terror in the area. And the whole Chambal region, cutting across 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, was under terror. Thousands of policemen trying to fight them, but they had no success. Every day the number of dacoits were growing. As a result, government was nearly giving up. And in this region, schools were not functioning, factories cannot come up, agriculture was not in good shape, because people can't go to their agriculture field, because any day anyone can be kidnapped. So we thought that is a great opportunity to try something out. So 4 of us, young people, we decided to move in and set up a small ashram in Chambal Valley. We went into a village, and everyone was surprised. How do you take such a risk, that going into a small village where any day the dacoits can come and kill you, and nobody even during the day will go there? How dare you go and set up an ashram there and stay there in the night? And in a week time we had our first attack. The dacoits came, took away our bicycle, took away everything, and tied our hands, got real beating from them, closed our doors and went away, and give a warning that if you don't quit this place in 1 week time, you will be shot. And we didn't go. We stayed on. As young people, we had the courage to stay on, and we also wanted to really try whether non-violence can work. So this was a long story of going to the jungle, talking to them, convincing them, getting the support of Gandhi and Sarvodaya workers from all over the country, and really making them understand, look, the path in which you are now, the path of destruction, the path of killing, the path of kidnapping, path of looting, this is not the right way to live. The right way to live is through a non-violent way, come to the mainstream society, be part of it, work hard, make a living rather than killing and kidnapping. And initially we never thought this message is going to be accepted, but then when the message got accepted and large number of them surrendered, we understood the power of non-violence, and that was a big beginning. And with that success, we moved up in the same direction for the next many years. One started realizing that it is not good enough to deal with physical violence. It is not good enough to speak about killing and kidnapping, but it is also important to speak about systemic violence or structural violence. That means exploitation, corruption, injustice, everything need to be fought. These are all forms of violence. And that is where again I started relating with what I learned as a child. Look, adharma need to be fought. Anything that is bad, exploitation, corruption, injustice, poverty, these are all forms of violence. Whoever may create it, they are to be fought. So how do you fight injustice and poverty through a non-violent method was a lifelong search for me. Then I went into it and found many ways, many methods. Some I learned, some I invented. So then life was basically a search for finding justice through non-violent method.